Hey everyone, we are wrapping up the course this week, so I just wanted to go over a few announcements and provide some general feedback for your final draft revisions. The first and biggest announcement is that all late work needs to be submitted tonight, October 5th. I encourage all of you to look through your grade book and see if there are any assignments where you have received a 0 or any discussions where you have received a low grade for not completing the responses. If you have any grades like that, complete the missing assignments. However, you should prioritize completing the most heavily weighted grades, which are the final drafts of your unit essays. By tomorrow night, you need to complete the final draft of your argumentative essay. That's October 6th. To help you with that process, I've given you some feedback in the rough draft discussions thread. As you revise, make sure that you look over the comments that I provided and the suggestions that your peers made. Revision is a good portion of the final grade for the unit essays, so I want you to revise carefully. In addition to my focus comments in the rough draft, I'll go over 3 pieces of feedback that everyone can benefit from. The examples that you're about to see come from student rough draft essays. So first, let's talk about the conclusions to your essays. I've noticed that many of the conclusions for the researched argument are missing a call to action. You all are very proficient at summarizing and restating your argument in the conclusion, but you can make these conclusions even better if you leave the audience with a call for action. As you revise, look over your conclusion. If you have a short paragraph like this, consider adding in a call to action. Based on your argument, what should your audience do? If you were talking about reducing social media use, like in this paragraph, maybe you can explain some actual strategies for reducing social media based on your research. That's a call to action. The second piece of general feedback has to do with introducing quotations. Let's look at an example. In this example, you can see something called a dropped quotation. A dropped quotation occurs when you include a piece of evidence without adequately introducing it. If you look at this example, the quote is dropped without any attribution or explanation of the information. To fix this problem, you might add in an introductory phrase that explains where the evidence comes from. Something like, the Gun Violence Archive conducted a large-scale study on gun violence incidents across the United States. Whenever you incorporate a quotation, you need to attribute it or explain it in some way. So my final piece of advice can't really be shown with an example, but I want you to remember that it is important to engage with counter arguments in your researched argument essay. To help come up with and respond to counter arguments, I have a strategy you can try. So reread your essay. As you reread, think about where someone might take an issue with a claim that you make, even if your claim is supported by evidence. Try to view your essay through the perspective of someone who will disagree with you no matter what. Once you think up their objections, take a little space in the essay to address whatever objection you came up with. These don't have to be perfect, but I do want you to acknowledge that there are some different points of view. So, the final essay will wrap up our class for the semester. I've enjoyed getting to know you and see you all improve over the course of the semester. If you have any questions or need any